talk some Dolphins, man. Rod, I know you have been dying to get at this particular conversation, and this is a two-part conversation. There's the Tyreek side, and then there's the offseason side, right? So we'll start with the Tyreek side because we've been meaning to get to this, and we just had so much football to actually address that we never really got to touch on it the way we have, bro. So, Rod, what's up with your boy, man? What's up with your boy Tyreek, man? What's up
Man,
with your boy
Herbie, man.
Tyreek, man?
Man, Herbie. Tyreek has just been drama ever since the end of the season, Herbie. Look, I was looking up and I only found this out because I saw like the clip on ESPN, so I decided to look up the article, right? Tyreek is steady now in the news. Before he was in the news for a 2,000-yard season, back-to-back years. Now he's in the news for wide receiver diva drama, right? So now, Herbie, after the way the season ended, this man goes when he's talking to some of the, he goes, "What y'all heard at the end of the season was frustration. I've been winning my whole life, bruh. Y'all don't understand. I bust my ass every day. I deserve I some kind of opinion." And then he goes on to say, "Y'all just want me to say, oh, we'll get him next year? Now, fuck that. We've got to come back. We got to put some pressure on some motherfuckers. Y'all got to fix this shit. Come on. Add some motherfucking dogs in this bitch. I compete. I love to compete, bruh. Man, fuck you. Herbie, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all boys something, man. Tyreek Hill, out of anybody in football that you can think of in the past 3 or 4 years, there is nobody that has a bigger egg on their face than Tyreek Hill. This man, now, I'll dial it back a bit because there's some good things that came of it, right? He wanted to get the bag. You can never fault somebody for wanting to get the money. I got you. But in terms of a football legacy, look, as a Dolphin fan, I was happy as hell when we got Tyreek Hill. When you have a receiver that caliber, that'll make every fan wants a receiver like that. As Ashton does, he has a Justin Jefferson. You actually have pretty damn good receiving core overall in Minnesota. But Herbie, when we got Tyreek Hill, niggas was excited. But objectively speaking, Herbie, Tyreek, what the hell? What the fuck did you think was gonna happen, bro? Like, you came to Miami, bro. Like, you came to a team that has mediocrity as its stench, Herbie. So what was he like at the end of the day? You wanted to get paid. I got you. You get paid, but don't complain. You quit at the end of the season, Herbie. Waddle is caught on film asking, "Yo, Reek, you done?" And this nigga just walks off. Like, Herbie, come on, man. Like, Tyreek, I don't want to hear it
That
from
that
you.
that's crazy. Like that's you,
Like,
bro. Put
I don't
like
want to
this,
hear that
dog.
from you,
Like
bro.
you
Get the fuck out of here.
based off, and the reason why that's so crazy because one of the most infamous moments in NFL in the past 5 years is when Antonio Brown walked off on the Bucks sideline, dog. Like wide receivers ain't never beaten the dumbass nigga allegations, dog. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
bro.
Crazy,
They
bro.
never beaten them allegations, and it's like what I get it. It's frustrating, especially coming where he came from. He came from the Kansas City Chiefs. Like he won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs. But you made that decision, bro. Like you got your ring, you had your success, and you wanted money, and you
Yep.
wanted to live in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So it, bro, this is the NFL. Marriages, divorces happen all the time. We see it, right? Like that's just the name. AJ Brown is in the Super Bowl and he has to pretend that he likes his quarterback, bro. That's just what it is, dog. Like that's what it is. They just never happy. They're never happy, right?
Right.
So that leads me to the discussion with you, Ashton, because you have a superstar wide receiver, bro. Do you and you live this? You live this with Chris Carter. You live this
Mm-hmm.
most famously with Randy Moss, and now you potentially could live this with Justin Jefferson. Do you get the vibes that Justin Jefferson, this might happen with y'all?
I did when it was his first year. I saw some things that I saw like on his Instagram, and I saw some things where like on like our media page where I was just like, he could be a diva. I'm not gonna lie, he can be a diva. But past 2 years, I don't get that vibe anymore. I like the fact like last year when he got injured, he came back even without Kirk Cousins. He came back. He still finished with 1,000 yards. I thought that was 10 out of 10. I appreciate that. I that thought that I had, that diva thought. Now he's still a diva. Don't get me wrong, but to Tyreek and AJ Brown level, even Antonio Brown level, I don't think he's not on that level yet. This year when he wasn't getting those I think a couple weeks where he wasn't getting anything. We was using him pretty much as a decoy, and I didn't see anything, any type of diva emotion from him. He was just playing his part, and I'm still iffy because he's still a receiver, a number one receiver that demands the ball. But as of right now, those raised eyebrows, I'm good. I'm good with Justin Jefferson right now.
Man, that's crazy, man. You saying he ain't on Antonio Brown level? Antonio Brown is the final boss, man. Like he's the he is. What's
Right.
Mortal Kombat? Like he's Shang Tsung, bro. Like on Mortal Kombat, you got to go
Nah,
all the
yeah.
way up them steps to
He's
get
Bowser,
there.
bro. He's Bowser at the end of Mario, bro. He's Bowser, dog. Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
max level.
As
Real.
far as my receivers, CD, I don't really think CD has it in him, right? Because I don't. CD is a dog, and I like CD a lot, but I don't think CD, and he shouldn't, quite frankly, sees himself on that tier to where he could even try to derail a fucking season, right? Like he gets frustrated, he complains and stuff like that, but he's a dog. He always shows. So, I don't want to say we're completely past that stage, but I do like these new receivers that's coming in, right? Like AJ Brown aside and a couple of Jamar Chase aside, like you're frustrated. You want to get your numbers because that's ultimately how you make your money. You get your numbers, but I don't think we got the real I'm going to destroy your team type dudes anymore. I think a lot of those dudes are getting weeded out, dog. You feel me? I love Terrell Owens, but Terrell Owens ruined two different teams. Like that's just a
Yeah.
fact. Antonio Brown could have gone down as the wide receiver of his generation, and then he let his feet freeze in a fucking hot tub, bro. Like in a cryo
The
chamber,
ultimate
bro. Like
crash out, bro. He's
the
the
ultimate
ultimate
crash
crash
out,
out.
right?
Ultimate.
Like
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think we're ever gonna see anybody to those levels again, bro. So, um, Rod,
Yo,
ultimately though, what do you want from that? Where are you? Where do you want this to end? Are you? And I know you said it on the pod before, but let's just go ahead and reiterate it. Are you cool with Tyreek going? And if in a perfect world, say you're the GM, what would be the trade that you would want, and what would you be comfortable with if there is a trade possibly?
well, when it comes to if we were to trade Tyreek Hill, obviously you'd want at minimum, like okay, in an ideal world, Herbie, and I don't know how the money would work and things like that. Ideally, Herbie, if you would get rid of Tyreek Hill, I just want it to somehow turn into a couple or two or three quality offensive linemen. You can't give up someone of that magnitude without getting something that can fulfill another hole, right? So I don't really know what that would demand, Herbie. I don't know if that would be no, John, no, John, no Tyreek to Buffalo, no. If the Dolphins were to trade Tyreek in division, bro, I don't know what I would do with myself, Herbie. That'd be one of the dumbest things they could ever do. Trade that motherfucker to the 49ers. Trade Tyreek Hill to the Cardinals. God, he can't go to Buffalo. But if the Dolphins were to trade him, I don't know what we would get for him, Herbie. I can't think about that. I don't know what teams want to give up for him. Maybe a first and a third. I don't really know. But what I would want to turn it into though, what I would want to turn it into is just quality picks that can get the offensive line. Cap space for quality offensive linemen. I just want us to be able, if we're gonna get rid of someone who demands as much attention and who has as much gravity on an offense as much as him, you got to protect the quarterback because it's the only way the offense is ever going to function. And a better offensive line will allow our running backs to actually shine because the Dolphins have good running backs. They just can't shine because the O line can't block for them. So that eliminates. So fixing that problem, even if you lose Tyreek, we can balance the loss of Tyreek in other ways. Tua showed me this season, Herbie, the Dolphins no longer have to rely on the big play to actually score. The Dolphins no longer we don't have to get explosives to be successful. We can nickel and dime downfield, but the quarterback has to have to protect. He has to have protection. We have to have a running game in order to be able to play that style of football. So if we're gonna trade him, we just gotta if we lose Tyreek, the O line has to be on point, or it's for naught. It's completely for naught.
All right, so we got my dog John in the building, man. Shout out to John in the
Shout
building.
out to Johnny.
Shout out to everybody in there, man. Y'all know y'all getting the dance hall horns, man. Y'all getting the dance hall horns. Y'all know the vibes, man. So let me get your opinion on these two things that You feel me? Because obviously this is division rival, so he's gonna take a shot at Tua. So John says John
That's
Allen
fine.
got that cannon to hit him in stride. Tua ain't got it. Now we seen Tua hit Tyreek Hill in stride plenty of times. There's been some underthrows and stuff like that, but he could do that. But this I do think is the more interesting question right here. I don't think Tyreek would give anyone else a choice of his destination other than him. He needs a QB who isn't punchy. O line was pretty bad this year. What is your rebuttal to that, Mr. Rodman?
You say you need a quarterback who isn't punchy. How about we address the second thing that you said, John? The offensive line. How about that? How
Mm,
about that, man? The offensive line
mm.
keeps a lot of people upright, man. You know what I mean? You can run the ball with a good offensive line and take pressure off the quarterback. You should know something about that because you root for Buffalo. Uh, Josh Allen had his best season in part, not statistically, because he's had explosive stat seasons, but in terms of Josh Allen's efficiency in managing the game, he had his best season doing that. Why? Large in part because he had a running back that ran for 1,000 yards and rushed for 16 touchdowns. So when you look at what a great and Buffalo had the number one rated offensive line, and obviously I know Josh Allen plays a big part of that. When you have a quarterback like him, he's going to make them look better too. But you could see it in the playoffs. You could see it during the season. The Buffalo offensive line has dogs. The Dolphins offensive line doesn't have dogs. We have Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg, two dudes. Listen, I am a civilian. I should not feel like if I see Liam Eichenberg in Publix, I can be like, bro, what's up? Like, I shouldn't feel like I can pull up to an NFL player and be like, nah, bro, I'm tired of you. I shouldn't feel like that, Herbie. He's an NFL football. He's an offensive lineman at that. I
Right.
feel like I could do that.
Oh man. Oh my god, man.
Well,
I feel like I could do
Okay.
that, man.
I got to. Why would? So you just got off Stephon Diggs. I'm going back to the comment. You just got off Stephon Diggs. Why would you want Tyreek after seeing this in the offseason?
That's a fair point. That's a fair
Yeah.
point
Why?
because, and
Why?
I was gonna bring that up too, and specifically when it comes to Rod and this team, because we've seen where sometimes there is a huge addition by subtraction.
Correct.
Like if there's somebody in the room and there's somebody in the facility that's making people miserable, you're not gonna get the best out of everybody. One person can't be more important than the other 52 people on the roster,
Not
Correct.
at all.
right?
Not at all.
So let's see here, man. Boy, the comments is coming, man. Keep dropping them in, man. Nothing shows the importance, and shout out to the homie Dom in the building, man. Nothing shows the importance of a good
Damo.
O line more than Saquon becoming once a generation talent with one. He would have been in the gun coat convo. Yeah, but that's not how it works, right? Because you draft, like, you got to understand, like, we can't, it ain't one plus one plus one plus one, right? Because a lot of times when there's incredibly talented players on a roster, you have blind spots, right? You're like, we got Saquon. We don't always got to get a great offensive line. Saquon could make the line look better than it is. Or you could say, we have Jalen Hurts. We need to have the best possible O line that's ever created, bruh, to give this guy a fighting chance because he sucks, bruh. So, right, it's I get it, but that's not how the math works, man. That's not how the math works. Rod,
Yo.
I'm gonna ask you, we're, I'm leading the witness here. We've been pretty much harping on it, man. But I'm gonna ask you finally, for once and for all, man. Do you want Tyreek Hill on your team next year?
Do I want him on my team next year?
Do you want him? This is about what Rod Man wants the fan. What does the fan want?
Of course I want him on my team, Herbie. We're
Oh,
better
you
with him.
did all that shit. Oh, come
course.
on.
Of course. Herbie, no. Listen, I can have an opinion and not be stupid. Herbie. Tyreek Hill's one of the best weapons in football. He's one of the best weapons. I can't say no. I can't say I don't want him, Herbie.
Yeah, all
Now,
right, man.
all I'm saying is if he's gone, I'm not mad. That's my point. If he's gone, I'm not mad. If he's not, but when you have a weapon like that, Herbie, it's hard to say, oh, you want him gone. He hasn't become that toxic yet. We'll see.
All
Maybe the
right,
season
so
implanted.
let's
So,
go ahead. Go ahead, Ashley.
so yeah, I was thinking about something. Y'all should trade Tyreek if you can, and try to go get T Higgins. I feel like you guys need a big play receiver, and not speedy. You guys need like a big play receiver, and I know T Higgins is going to be I don't know if you want to sign for Cincinnati. I think it'll be stupid because he can go get his money. But I think you guys need like a wide possession receiver like T. Higgins, where he doesn't demand number one money because he's behind Chase and we don't know. But just listen if you can. Whatever his offers at, I think you guys should go after T. Higgins. That way you have T. Higgins, you still have the speedster Waddle, and everybody. And then you have Malik Washington. He showed up last couple weeks, and you still have your offensive players for the most part, besides the O line. So that's my input on.
Oops.
Nah, you know what, man? That's actually a great point, man. Because one of the biggest problems that I've had with the team, and this is where Jonnu Smith fit in so great this year, we don't have enough big body guys. The Dolphins are an undersized football team from top to bottom, and we need size. And T. Higgins, to your point, would be a perfect replacement for Tyreek because we have talent here. We still have Waddle. We still have Washington. We have Jonnu. We have Devon Achan. Like the Dolphins have other weapons. It's just a matter of T. Higgins could be that guy we could depend on in the red zone. He could be that guy that Tua could throw the ball up to in one-on-one coverage because Tua is accurate as hell, regardless of how people feel about the guy. He's still an accurate quarterback, and he could use a receiver like that. Back before we had Tyreek and Waddle, he was throwing balls to guys who aren't even on practice squads. And he had to throw in the tight windows. Like this is not something that he can't do. So a guy like T. Higgins would be an incredible replacement for Tyreek, I think.
All right, man. Let's go ahead because I want to move the conversation a little further, but man, we got the comments is coming, man. So you feel
Let's
me?
get
Get the
'em.
vibes.
Let the people talk.
Yeah, man. Everybody show love, man. Go ahead, show love, man. So let me go ahead and get some of these comments in, bro, because I love to highlight the comments, bro. Because again, we do this for y'all, man. So this is going back to what John's saying. Why would I want Tyreek? Because we win, and he's the missing piece. Listen, we just seen what happened with Stephon Diggs, bro. Right now, it would be cool for a year, maybe cool for 2 years, bro. But um, this one for you, man. Ashton, man, you a superstar, dog. People talk about is that Ashton, man? This man a star, man. I didn't know he was.
What's
I
up,
didn't know he
man?
was. I didn't know he was in the presence of a megastar. My bad, dog. Dude was out here catching you out in the live stream, man. Shout out to him,
What up,
man.
man? What up, man? What's going on?
That's dope. That's dope.
All right, man. All right, there's way too many comments, guys. We'll get back to because we got to keep the conversation moving, man. So.